The stadium starting to shake. Saturday night in Death Valley. Garrett Nussmeier. Touchdown.
They're the LSU Fighting Tigers, and they're here inside the press box.
And the first at the podium following Commissioner Greg Sankey as we open up SEC Football Media Days 2025 from the College Football Hall of Fame, Atlanta, Georgia. Digital Drive is where you'll find our own Colin Lacey and helper Brent Osborne all week long. They've already brought you the action of Mr. College Football, Tony Barnhart, who joined us earlier today. And our first player of the week, the award goes to he's our favorite defensive back, right? Our favorite safety in all of the SEC now. That will be DQ Smith, the senior starter for the South Carolina Gamecocks, who joined us earlier today right there on Digital Drive. And we must explain again, it used to be Radio Row, and they've changed the name. Should I be offended by that or no?
Well, Mike, you don't like that. I can tell that you do.
I really don't.
Well, I just don't understand the purpose of it. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well, there's lots of folks on there, Radio Row, that aren't radio anymore. That's
well, that's kind of always been the case if you really want to talk about it.
But I think that gives you that just has like a traditional feel to it.
Yeah.
Radio Row.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Radio Row.
Digital Drive just kind of feels forced.
It feels very.
I agree with that. I don't have no quarrel with that. See,
very. Is the kids say bougie? Is that something the kids say these days?
I ain't never been called anything on bougie.
I'm just asking. I don't know what the kids say these days. I'm just asking. Yeah.
Not a wasted follow. Say less. Bougie.
Ish. That's one.
A lot of ish.
A lot of ish. Yeah.
Not real. That's what they say to me all the time.
I had never heard anyone use the phrase "ish" until Bart Heitch. Bart Heitch brought me the "ish" phrase.
Sus.
That was sus. Yeah, another one. Yep. Courtesy of Bart Heitch. Absolutely.
Why you guys so sus?
Well, sus is suspect, correct? Yeah. I mean, that's short for suspect.
Suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah. Suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Are you suspicious about year 4 for Brian Kelly at LSU? We heard a little Garrett Nussmeier mention. He will be one of the 3 players appearing today, along with head coach Brian Kelly. Yes, quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, wide receiver Chris Hilton Jr., and linebacker Whit Weeks joining him. And this is a team with some lofty expectations here. As we mentioned, 9-4 a year ago, but that was a bit of a disappointment. This is a team that had it rolling last year. They lost the opener to a USC team that ended up being rather average. Then they won 6 in a row. But then they lost at Texas A&M. They got throttled at home by Alabama. They lost on the road at Florida, finished the season with wins over Vanderbilt and Oklahoma at home. But we mentioned it again, 9-4. I don't think LSU fans are going to be happy with another 9-4 in 2025, boys.
Over.
Yeah, over? I've got the way over. I think LSU can be something pretty special this year.
I got them all right, here's my question.
If they're not, Kelly's gone.
To both of you esteemed holder newts.
Yeah.
What is the winning record of the regular season SEC champion? What is their total record?
Regular season champion?
Mm-hmm.
Going into Atlanta or after all said and done?
Atlanta. Basically, I'm asking you, is anybody going to go through the SEC undefeated? That's what I'm asking you.
No.
I don't think it happens. I don't think it happens.
I think it's 11-1. I think 11-1 is what gets
like
you.
Alfalfa.
You shouldn't.
I'm going that there's going to be. How about this? I'm saying there's going to be an undefeated team.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can do that.
How about that?
You want to tell us who is going to be?
Mississippi State.
Well, now there's a fan's opinion.
What's in that cup?
There's a fan's opinion.
I thought Mr. Hurtle, I thought they were pretty older, dude.
I told y'all I hosted the Bulldog Club meeting at the Tupelo Country Club back in 1980. Anyways, it was Emory Billard's, what turned out to be Emory Billard's last year. He stood in front of the Bulldog Club at Tupelo Country Club in Tupelo, Mississippi, and told them that Mississippi State was going to win the SEC this year.
LSU goes undefeated and wins the regular season.
Oh, now I like that. Give me some of that.
Yeah,
by the way,
I can get on board with that.
I mean, that's what look at their schedule. It's not
It beat
I
Clemson.
mean, that's what I'm
telling
saying.
you.
If they beat Clemson and they
Yep.
go to Alabama, those are really their two tough road games.
Don't they go to Ole Miserable,
They do.
though?
Yeah, they do go. Yeah, I was just looking. They do go to Ole Miss.
It's okay. You can say Ole Miserable, Brent.
So here's my question on Ole Miss, and we'll get to Lane Kiffin this afternoon.
I got a bunch of questions about Ole Miss, but
Yeah,
that I always have. But go ahead.
There you go. He and Clark Lee, part of the afternoon contingent with Ole Miss and Vanderbilt there at SEC Football Media Days. Here's my deal. I mean, has the window passed on Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss? Well, wasn't last year supposed to be the year?
What? Window pass to do what?
To make the playoff, to be really relevant.
If that quarterback's good, that schedule's real good still.
Yeah,
Look,
no, I think you're still in the window. And I think
Yeah.
you also kind of have to – we've talked a lot over the years of what that – I hate to call it second tier because it sounds less than what I mean. But not the LSU, not the Texas, what Georgia has been, that second tier, the 8 and 3s, what is the real expectation every year? Now, obviously, those you're going to be +1, -1 every year. And the +1 years, you can work your way into the college football playoff. You can work your way into an SEC championship game. But if you're Ole Miss, what is the expectation? Is the expectation 10 wins every year? Is it 8 wins every year? What is that expectation? And I know Bart is probably not the guy to talk about that.
I mean, definitely. I mean, I think it's 9, but with their inflated egos and how they are, it's about 14. But I think 10, 9.5 would be my over/under. If I was an Ole Miss fan, and that puts me because in this mindset, is there anybody that wins 10 games in the SEC that doesn't go to the playoff?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Right? So this year it was 3. It was 3 last year. I mean, with how things fall, you get the right wins like South Carolina did last year. And Ole Miss, their schedule's fairly easy compared to everybody else's. None of them are easy, but they do have opportunities to get a couple of those big. You beat LSU at home when LSU's the top 5 team, you're in the playoff. As long as you don't have more than 3 losses.
And, I mean, you look at it last year, there's 2 games that Ole Miss probably tells you that they shouldn't have lost. Obviously, Kentucky. If you win Kentucky, you're in the playoff, I think.
Yep.
That is so awesome.
Especially after beating Georgia.
I don't know. Here's about everybody keeps talking about the quarterback. You'll hear it this afternoon. Lane Kiffin can have the best quarterback on the planet, guys. But that ain't the most important thing to his offense. That man's got to be able to run the ball and get 3 yards a clip. Every time he gets 3 yards a clip, when he's running the football, that offense is not coming off the field because he is going for it every single. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, "Well, Daddy, if we just got 3 yards, we would never have to punt."
Yeah.
I know that sounds elementary, but at the same time, that is how Lane Kiffin views football. That's why he always runs the football on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 to sometimes set up that opportunity to make it a run-pass option. So if Ole Miss can run the football, I think they'll be good on offense. I just think their defense is going to be suspect.
Well, one thing I noticed last year with them was, and I had to confirm myself and everything when looking at the scores from last year, is if you look at their scores from last season, they didn't win any close games. Like, it was either a blowout or they lost a close game. They never got really blown out. But I mean, just looking at their scores from last year, I mean, they had about 2 or 3 games that were close that they lost by a touchdown or less. And I mean, that's a big deal. They got to be able to get over that hump. And that's what you guys were talking about earlier, is I feel you were saying that how with them being kind of like a second tier team or whatever, I feel like that's something that they've always struggled with, is just kind of getting over that hump. But it's one of those things that I feel like every time I'm watching them, I mean, that every game they go into, they have a very good chance of winning, no matter who they're playing.
The thing that's impressive to me about Ole Miss and makes me feel a lot better about Ole Miss going into the season
It's nothing. Love it. Go.
is how often are you trying to replace somebody of the caliber of what Jackson Dart meant to Oxford? And you feel good going in. Like there's not a ton of questions around Austin Simmons. And obviously you've seen him at times and you've seen flashes of him over the years, but you can say the same thing about a lot of guys that are getting questions of what is this guy in a big moment? What is this? There's not a Ole Miss person that you can talk to that isn't, for the most part, that isn't really locked in with Austin Simmons and what he's able to do, and the fact that he can be, I'm not going to say as good and the same as Jackson Dart because they're different people, they're different players, they're different molds, but he can have the same impact that a Jackson Dart had. It's not very often that you find a fan base that is pretty convinced of that across the board, but it feels like Ole Miss kind of is.
I mean, if there's a fan base that would convince themselves of what they
Here we
should
go,
not
Paige.
themselves of convincing, it'd be them. Hey, Brad Logan's there. He just took a picture of you.
Brett
saw that.
Logan
Yeah,
is right here.
Yeah.
Tell him I said hey and Hell State.
I find it interesting. You were talking about the next level, whatever you want to call it, the second level, whatever, Colin. And looking at our buddy Phil Steele and his college football preview magazine for 2015, he's got Georgia, Texas, and Alabama ranked 1, 2, 3. Oklahoma, LSU, and Texas A&M all tied for 4th. Florida, Ole Miss, Tennessee all tied for 7th. Followed by South Carolina at 10, Auburn also at 10. Arkansas, Missouri tied at 12, Vandy at 14, Kentucky 15, Mississippi State 16.
Is it bad to say that somebody tied for 7th, I think, is too high?
Stop.
I really do.
I will say, I
No,
mean, based on that,
Colin, it's according to who it is.
That's true.
based on that list though, like the one thing that sticks out to me, and I know we've talked about it very briefly, but I'm not sold on Oklahoma.
No.
I'm really not. Like Venables has not shown me that. I mean, there's been glimpses, but he has not shown me that he basically has what it takes to be able to play an SEC schedule through an entire season, and be successful.
You know what they are, Brent? Oklahoma is the new Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They're the Jimbo Texas A&M. That, oh, yeah, this is going to be their year.
Yep.
And yet it never is.
Never happens.
It was. Yeah, it never happened.
Double time. So they
Everybody's all fired up about John Mateer and being the quarterback. And okay, but what's he got to work with? What else is around him? Phil Steele likes him. I'm just not convinced.
I mean, and their schedule, like if you look at their schedule is ish.
Yeah.
It's almost doable if you get, but there's just some games in between those big games, man, on the road that somebody might be able to get you.
Well, wait a second now. They open with it. Is it the Leathernecks of Illinois State? Who's Illinois State?
Hey, now them Leathernecks are some count.
Who is that? Who is am I right? Are they the Leatherneck? That's not right. Who is
No.
that? Who's Illinois
I think
State?
it's Western
it ain't
Illinois, the
Leathernecks.
Leathernecks.
Illinois State, whoever they are.
Bird. There's some kind of bird.
Then Oklahoma hosts Michigan in week 2. First ever regular season game between those blue bloods. They go to Temple.
Home though, right?
But it's at home. Michigan.
They're gonna win that game, and
Michigan's
then everybody's
in
gonna be
one.
talking about
They go to Temple. Then they get Auburn at home.
it. Bruno,
Mm-hmm. Kent State after the week. Texas, of course, the Red River Showdown
They're
is
gonna lose that game.
in Dallas.
Yeah.
So they lose that one.
Yep.
They go to South Carolina. Careful, boys.
that's the type games I'm talking about. Those type games right
Yeah,
there.
I don't think
Careful,
they beat
boys.
South Carolina at South Carolina.
That's the first time you've been there at night.
I think there's a good chance looking at that schedule that they go on a 4-game losing streak there.
That
They got
4-game stretch.
Texas at South Carolina, Ole Miss, and at Tennessee.
I think they beat one
At
of those
Alabama.
teams.
Yeah, after a bye week, they go to Bama.
Yeah, they go to at Bama. So I mean, that's a 5-game stretch that is.
So for them in Missouri, they and Missouri are my two teams that after week 5 are going to be really high in the rankings, like really high. So you know what that does to me? That helps those teams below that play the tougher schedules, like a Texas if you used to Ohio State, and then you got Oklahoma later on. If you beat Oklahoma, who's number 5, then that's going to keep you elevated and keep you in that talk for the playoff. So like Oklahoma and Missouri toward the end of the season, the games that they play because of who they've beaten before will be relevant regardless of where they are in the race for the SEC.
Looking at this schedule, Oklahoma could go 5-0,
Yep.
but finish 1-6.
What if you look at last year? They started out 3-0, then fell to Tennessee, then had a big win against Auburn, and then they went on a 3-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of went down the stretch again.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're going to be 5-0. Jackson, okay, do we really think there's really one? There's a game. Is Auburn going to go up there with their quarterback they didn't want, that he hadn't shown anything, and beat them at Oklahoma against Brent Venables' defense that he saw this quarterback every single day? No, that's why he's playing golf.
Yeah.
Do we think Michigan will give them a little run for their money?
Yeah,
I know it's at Oklahoma.
Absolutely, Michigan will give them a run for their money, but that's a game. That's the game that Venables has got to win.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the swing.
One. Absolutely, it is, because it's same old, if not. And Oklahoma's. Here's the thing: fan bases just want to be in the conversation. It really don't matter if it's week 1 or week 12. It's typically the same teams at the end of the year, but early in the year, you just want to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Well, we mentioned today,
And they're the team that's very similar to what Texas A&M was last year. A lot of hype coming out of the gate, and then that nosedive down the backstretch.
I just spilled my coffee, so this is why we don't need to be on television.
We didn't see it.
Unbelievable.
We mentioned all four.
Michael, I've spilled coffee in here.
All four quarterbacks representing today's team are there. LSU's Garrett Nussmeier, South Carolina's Lenore Sellers, Ole Miss's Austin Simmons, Vanderbilt's Diego Pavia. Tomorrow, Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, and Texas are on the agenda. Auburn will be bringing Jackson Arnold. Georgia will be bringing,
Gunnar Stockton.
Thank you, Gunnar Stockton. Tennessee will not be bringing a quarterback.
Love that move, by the way.
Yeah,
They don't know
who would they bring?
But,
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody's so secure that Joey Aguilar is going to be the guy, why is he not here?
Yeah, I'm disappointed that he's not there, because I've been saying all summer, I think Aguilar could have a great season at Tennessee. He was great at App State other than turning the ball over.
How would you bring him there when nobody knows you can keep
In the
it
2 years he was at App State, he was honorable mention all Sun Belt.
No,
That's going to be an all SEC type guy?
Yeah. Bart Heitch is on it.
Hey, that Sunbelt defense is just some count.
He's right though. You got to keep him under the radar. That's why you don't bring him. You don't want people asking questions.
I just think I think Josh Heupel likes the fact that he can play this game a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of keep it in the dark. I don't know. I don't.
And then
I'm not sure about Tennessee. I'm gonna have to see them play before I can give you any prediction.
The Texas quarterback is expected to be there as well. Some guy named Arch Manning. It's his year, man. I mean,
I'm putting him in the Austin Riley category before he takes a snap this year.
Oh, Lord.
wow. I mean, everybody expects him. He's the Heisman favorite going into the year.
I'm out.
Hey, speaking of quarterbacks around the league, I know we got to wrap up in a minute. I'm surprised Texas A&M doesn't bring their quarterback.
No kidding. That's
Another one. He's another one that we ain't talked about enough.
Yeah. We'll get to later in the week. A&M will be on the schedule later in the week. Again, today, SEC Football Media Days, day one from the College Football Hall of Fame. Our Colin Lacey and Brent Osborne are going to be there all day. They'll be collecting all kind of cool interviews. Some you'll hear later tomorrow on the show here, and some maybe we'll try to put up on the Facebook page and get them out there on social media as well. So, big thanks to Colin Lacey and Brent Osborne for doing the hard work this week. Meanwhile, Mike Grace, Bart Heitch, we're just farting around. Yeah, that's the plan. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I'll be here, man.
Yeah.
I like this new video thing, though. I think.
Yeah, so far, then again, kudos to Colin Lacey. He's the man that made it all happen on great radio stations around the Southeast, online 24/7, PressBoxRadio.com, and watch out. Yes, streaming live on Facebook Live, Mike Grace Live, and PressBox Radio 1. That's PressBox Radio and the number 1. Till tomorrow, gang.